Here we are, Sean and Cass, back at it again. Damn, Cass. I need you more than ever.
Oh, baby.
Cass, what the heck? My dreams are flooding back.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, my lord, good lord, what the heck are these dreams all about? Why? What's going on?
I think they're little messages from beyond,
Beyond what?
Beyond our waking consciousness.
Beyond my realm of comprehension?
Yeah, it's more subconscious stuff.
Good lord. Yeah, since I'm not smoking weed all day, every day, the dreams are coming back.
It's so crazy because we edibled last night,
I feel like the amount of THC I'm getting in an edible pales in comparison to the amount that I was getting from ripping dabs all day.
Yeah, it must. I mean, that's what I was watching a thing about weed and sleep, because it helps a lot of people sleep, but it also affects how, like, the REM sleep that people can get into, and REM is really important.
Yeah.
The
Great band.
rapid eye movement sleep,
Mm-hmm.
that deep sleep. And so a lot of times if people like always do a lot of edibles or weed and then lose their dreams, that when they come back with a vengeance, because it's kind of like sleep. It's like you got to catch up on it or something.
Mm.
And if you don't REM sleep, REM sleep, you could die. Like, that's how important it is.
What?
Yeah. You need to hit that.
I think even when I was a 24/7 pothead 2 weeks ago, and for the previous 12 years before that, I think I was catching that REM sleep.
No, yeah, definitely.
I just think I was like...
I'm not saying people are dying from cannabis because they're not
No.
REM sleeping or REM
No,
sleeping.
I just think I was zoinked and boinked enough that, like, I just couldn't remember my dreams. I don't think they were not happening, but I just couldn't remember them.
And then you had a spooky one last night.
The spookiest one ever. You were leaving me.
No.
It really, it effed me up, for sure. I was like, definitely, I woke up like, I need to talk to Cass, like, immediately. Like, I need to clear this energy.
Yeah, there are like little memes or things about girls being like, yeah, I'm the kind of girlfriend who gets mad at you for cheating on me in my dreams. Like, I'm glad you didn't wake up mad at me.
No, my God, no. It was so not your behavior, but I guess I could figure out where it came from. But basically, it was such a vivid dream. We had like rented like a big Airbnb or something, and there was just a bunch of people there, our friends, like my friend group from back in the day. A lot of those guys there and their significant others and such. And we were getting ready to go to bed, and like I was like, "Where's Cass?" And I went and I found you making out with one of my friends. And it's a guy. It's a guy you've never met.
It's funny. I'm like, what does he even look like? I don't even
It's
know.
a guy
Would I make out with him?
No. It's a guy I haven't thought about or talked to in years, like a decade.
Yeah.
And like, you guys were making out and hooking up, and I was like, what the heck?
It was a rowdy, hot and rowdy, or was it like innocent making out? What kind of making out are we talking about?
Not on our level.
Just like caught in the act of.
Yeah. And I was like, what's going on here? And you were like owning it, and I was like, what is going on? And I was freaking out, and I said to him, I was like, you're gonna have to leave, like, ASAP, or I'm gonna kill you. I know me. I'm gonna kill you right now if you don't leave.
I'm just glad you weren't gonna kill me. So.
No. I needed to talk to you, and I needed to get people away. But like, meanwhile, we're in this like chaotic household, and like people are just going on their stupid lives, and like, poking fun at me and being like, "Oh, it's no big deal," like, this kind of thing. And I'm like, "No, this is a really big deal. This is a really, really monumental shift. This is the only thing that matters in my life."
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how it progressed, but there was another person you were cheating on me with. And this guy was
I have
like,
a lot of time, obviously, in this dream world.
Yeah, totally. And this guy was like in his 70s.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, Cass, what is going on? Please, just tell it. I named the first guy, and I was like, do you want to be with him? I was like, is this happening? Are you leaving me for him? And you were like, no, I don't want to be with him. And I was like, what about this other guy? Thinking the old guy. And you're like, I do want to be with him. And I was like, what? it was just like, it was so real, and I was like freaking out and trying to like get you alone in a room, and everything kept like, it was just like distractions upon distractions, and like finally like getting you alone, and I just like, we couldn't see eye to eye. Like I couldn't like make that locked connection. You know, like we've been through that in real life, but like not like this. Not
Mm-hmm.
like that. It was like the love light went out, and I'm like,
Yeah, there's a difference between not being able to communicate well and like the love light not being
yeah,
there. Because a
yeah.
lot of time when someone cares enough to fight with you or even be mad at you, the love light's still there.
That was what was
When some
extra disturbing about this. It was so matter of fact, and it was so matter of fact that all my friends and family and your dad was there. Everyone was accepting this. Like, Cass is leaving you. Cass already left you. Not
yeah.
only is she in the process of leaving you, she already left you. She's committed to other people, and she's out of here. And I was losing my damn mind. I remember pulling you into a room, and I'm like trying to get your attention, and over your shoulder, a car just drives into a well. And I'm like, we have to call an ambulance. And I'm immediately, I'm like screaming. I'm like, yo, a guy just drove down there. But I'm in my head, I'm like, I got to talk to Cass. I'm like, somebody's dead at the bottom of this well, and I got to talk to Cass right now. I'm freaking out. And day turned to night, and it was like me, you, and this guy that you were cheating on me with.
The 70-year-old?
No, the
Okay.
younger one who's my age. And I was like, dude, you gotta go. And he was like kind of in protection mode, like, no, 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 I'm
Like
waiting
he,
for my girl, you know. And I'm like, no, she's my girl. And I was like, I've never been so attracted to somebody. I'm fucked, you know, like
yeah.
I'm fucked. Not having like, I'm like, that was my dream girl. I don't know how I lost her, but I'm fucked now, because there's no one else out there for me. Like there, you know, I was just like, it was just like whoa, and I just couldn't get your attention. I wanted to slap you, like I wanted to like
You
throw
should have.
water in your face and slap you and be like, hey, look at me, stop, we're a thing, we're the thing.
You're my girl.
You're like, you've lost the narrative. We've talked about this a million times. We've done this. We've stared into each other's eyes for minutes upon minutes on psychedelics. We know each other. We can see each other's, we could see through all the bullshit to each other's soul. Don't do this. Like, what, you're on one right now, Cass. And you're just like straight up like, no. And then like this guy's acting like, you know, white knight energy, you know, which I hate. It kind of reminds me of something that happened to us that I'm not going to get into, but you know, so at that point I'm just like, okay, and I just leave and I start walking down this train track, and it's just getting darker and darker as I walk down the train track to the point where I literally can't see. It's like Vanta black in front of me. I'm like, I can't see anything. I don't even know where I'm going. I don't know where I am, and I turn around and I saw you poking your head out the window to make sure I was okay. And I was like, I'm going back. I'm going back to get her.
There's still hope.
Yeah. Yeah, and I went back, and then I woke up.
Yeah.
And it was so vivid. I'm leaving out a lot of details because I think, you know, hearing people's dreams can sometimes be really weird and boring. But the feeling it left me with was so real and so heavy and so hard to shake. And yeah, so all that took place from 6:18 a.m. to 7:18 a.m. I actually know the amount of time because I'm not on pot right now. I'm like waking up mad early, and I woke up at 6:18, and I'm like, this is too much. I can't be starting my day at 6:18 in the morning. I'm not a goddamn farmer, you know. So I went back to sleep, and that's what came. And then I popped out of it at like 7:18, and I was like, I'm like rolling around in bed, like, you know, that feeling of like, thank God that's not real, but what was that?
Yeah.
Like, I need to start treating my girl better. That's like,
Oh,
yeah,
that's a good message. I like that. Well, it's a great dream for me to wake up to because I was like, well, first off, the idea that I would never cheat on you,
I know,
I
I know.
and because it'd be really hard to cheat on you because I'd be so scared of that love light going out. Like that would be just so terrifying. It'd make me ill.
In the dream, you were fine with it. You had made peace with, like, we did our dance already.
Well, that's probably because you in your head were like, well, I wasn't treating her right or something.
Yeah, pretty much.
You treat me good. I don't know.
Yeah, but, like, I don't know. I'm coming off substances and trying to reacclimate to the world. And, like, we get in these, like, intense but short fights. And I think maybe a couple of those were haunting me. Because, like, I've been good. I've been having some really good days. And then, like, just the darkness the darkness, the overwhelm takes over my life, and right now I don't have any outs. So yeah, it's just like really just taking a cold cock on the chin, just boom.
Well, that's got to be what winter's about too. You know, you got to go through the darkness this time of year, don't you think?
I guess. I guess. I really. The only thing I can think that this is about is like that I'm carrying tremendous guilt about some of the fights we had and some of the things I said and some of the narratives, the bullshit narratives I've introduced into our world. You know, in
Mm-hmm.
my anxiety, pretty much. You know, you take all this stuff away that I was doing, which isn't much. When it amounts to some dabs and nicotine, a little bit of
Yeah.
kratom, but you take that away, and I'm like, whoa, what what are my tools for managing anxiety and depression? Pretty much.
Your reason to live.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like I will say that stuff is for me at least in my psyche, and it's so good at staving off depression and anxiety.
I think you
But you're
just
crushing it
I
down.
think you need a nice solid mushroom trip, honestly.
Yeah, yeah, probably. Which for most people like might sound like a lot of fun, but for me sometimes I get thrashed around by those shroomies. You know how it is. Some people go through that, but I'm glad that wasn't real, or was it?
No, I've never cheated on you.
No, I know, but what is that? How is that possible? Like, yeah, I don't know. It's something I haven't had to confront a lot in the past decade because I'm not remember. I don't remember my dreams.
Yeah.
But that one, it's like I'm just like left with this just like visceral feeling of like just like up on my haunches, like oh.
Yeah, no, I'm just glad that you didn't like lose love for me in your dream. Like that would be awful. Like you wake up and someone's love light has gone off for you because of something you did to them in your dreams, you know, in their
I wonder if
dreams.
that's possible. Probably.
Well, yeah, I mean anything's probably
I think
possible.
it's only possible if it like uh, bared some weight in this reality.
Yeah, there's some truth to it.
Yeah, yeah,
And then you just like felt the repercussions or how this is playing out, this lack
yeah.
of attention or
This
whatever.
felt so sudden, but justified. Even in the dream, I remember having a moment where I'm walking around and I'm just like, I can't believe this. I can't not believe this is happening. In a million years, I would have never thought that Cass would leave me and leave me for another man while we're like renting an Airbnb with all of our friends.
Mhm.
And I was like, oh, I've done this to people. You know, like in my dream, I was just like, yeah, I haven't been the best person in terms of like not hooking up with people that are in relationships. You know, like I just been like, I just take what I can get sometimes in this life.
Chickens are coming home to roost.
In the dreams,
In the
for sure. I
dreams.
really hope that's all I have to deal with because I've dealt with a lot of heartbreak, but I've probably caused a lot too.
Definitely.
And I remember thinking that in my dream, and very specifically about a specific situation I don't even want to talk about.
The
But
situation you're even talking about is not a situation. You
no,
mentioned it to me, and I was like, I
you're
almost
like,
was,
that ain't a thing.
I was almost offended. I was like, you're more concerned about the karma you have towards this non-situation than the karma, our karma. Like, you know what I mean?
Well, it was just one little detail that felt very not dreamlike.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it felt very like just like a level of awareness that I didn't think was available to me in dreams. Where I'm thinking about what's happening and I'm reflecting on my life and I'm like, okay, I see why that would. Okay, yeah, I see where karma was coming for me in this way, like, and trying to wrap my head around it and try to justify it, but it hurts so bad, babe. It hurts so bad. I would never want to inflict that kind of pain on anybody, and if I have, God bless them. I'm so sorry. Whew. Yeah, yeah. So I don't know what it's all about. I don't know what these dreams are about. Like, why do we have that? Like,
Well, I think I've said to you a few times in the last week, like, can you just be grateful for like our relationship and our, can you be grateful for me? Like, 'cause you get in like a little bit of a negative story loop and start telling the worst story, and I'm like, God damn, can you just be grateful? And maybe it's me saying that to you, and maybe it
yeah,
was your way of like having to feel that, and or
yeah,
you can't just like You can will yourself into gratitude through gratitude practices and just like taking the time to be grateful, but sometimes you need a little bit of a stark reminder of like what you got.
Yeah, totally. I mean, and that comes on the heels of me having like a bratty night. And over the past couple weeks, I've had a couple bratty nights where just like the day's anxieties just are all like accumulating. And by like 7 or 8 at night, I am just like at my wit's end, and I don't have any like chemical parachute to just float on out of there. So it's just like it's very raw, like I said in our last podcast, and yeah, this was just I think a reminder of that. Like I needed it to happen in like a potent metaphorical dose that felt so real to teach me some sort of lesson. And the lesson was like, I got to be better to cast.
Oh, well, I love these dreams. This is great.
Of course,
This is a great dream to wake
of
up
course.
to.
But like I know that in my waking life, and I think we are. I
Yeah,
am
you're
good
great.
to
Yeah,
you.
totally,
You know,
totally.
I'm very thoughtful.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But yeah, on those couple bratty nights, you know, when everything just accumulates and like I don't have anyone else to, you know, like talk to about this stuff, and it's just like I take some stuff out on you, and it's not pretty. And yeah, I think that it registers somewhere deep in my psyche that I'm not as grateful for you as I should be.
Yeah.
Yeah, because even in the dream, like people were like, Cass, because I was like looking for you. I'm like, where is she? And they're like, Cass, like, who is that? You know, like, is that girl? And I was like, no, the girl that looks like a damn supermodel. She's perfect. I was going like this in the dream. I'm like, she's got a perfect body. She's running around. Everyone would notice her. She's so hot. You know?
You have such you have cast goggles.
Oh yeah. Ever since I first met you,
Yeah.
and this just felt so devastating. It was felt so devastating, and yeah. And I guess that's a kind of a cool repercussion of dreams, especially one that feels that real, is like I can do something about it in this reality because I tapped into the fear like below everything, and it helped me see how much you mean to me
Yeah.
from another angle that I never expected.
Right.
Because this would never happen in real life. This, like you said, you would never cheat on me. You know, it would be, it wouldn't, nothing that sudden is ever going to happen to either one of us. Like in terms of like pulling the rug out on the other one. If we were going through something that felt like a breakup, we would know from a mile away and we would start managing it. It wouldn't happen like this, like where you're like, no, I already have another partner.
Oh yeah, you know this thing where you've lined up, you've been consecutive monogamous
Yeah,
relationships.
yeah.
You know, I pulled that down for myself, and I set my next thing up before I left this
Oof.
thing.
Oh,
That would be the ultimate
Lord.
karma.
Yeah, it would. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, again, look, karma's coming for me. It's coming for us all. But I've been in, I've been in consecutive monogamous relationships. I was in a 7-year relationship, another 7-year relationship, and now this one's almost been like 14 years.
Yeah.
That's an insane thing to do. This is an unbroken chain of monogamy since I was 16 years old, with a lot of indiscretions.
So is it really monogamy?
Mm, yeah, because like that really whoever my girl is, that is my girl, and
Yeah.
and you know, youthful drunken indiscretions aside, because that's all they were really. Like in my sober life, when I'm not drinking, I've never cheated on you.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even
But
wouldn't
then
even
it's
consider it.
yeah, but we've obviously been in
We've been loose.
monogamish.
Yeah, we've been very loose.
Well, I mean, talking about fears, I mean, what's tomorrow, Sean?
Portal day.
Yeah.
Oh damn! I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, so they're all come to the surface just ahead of time, just in time for you to let them go.
The first and so far only official holiday of the Church of Chill.
Yeah, I was
Portal day.
trying to 111. I was trying to think,
Yeah.
was 2020 our first official portal day, or was it?
No, I think it was 2019.
Okay,
Oh no, wait.
I think it was 2020.
Damn. Did we start a pandemic?
I hope not.
Well, because Portal Day for us, like, it was very ragtag the first time, but we were like, let's make a holiday. Like, you know, we have this little fake church. Let's make a fake holiday. And like, what better time than the beginning of January? Like, you're in no man's land. Like, it's just like it's dark. It's cold. It's just like, I don't know. There's something like foreboding about it, and it's just like, let's put a bright spot on the calendar where we take acid and write down all of our fears and burn those fuckers.
Yeah, and I think at least it doesn't have to be the take acid. It's if you want to take it to the next dimension. But
Yeah.
I think at the very least, we've done years where we just burn our fears, and I think it's very powerful
Hmm.
intention because you can kind of just be like, okay, this is the beginning of the year, fresh slate. Start it off like, let me let go of anything that's holding me back.
New Year's burn fears.
And the beautiful thing about this 111/111/24 is it's a new moon too, new moon in Capricorn, which
Mm.
is like a great time for intention setting, and yeah, I'm psyched about it. I'm already gearing up. I gotta remember my fears.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes it takes a second to remember them because they operate so on a subconscious level. To like excavate them, you really have to do a little recon and be like, all right, wait, what's going on? Okay, what am I scared about? What
Yeah.
what's holding me back? Where are my limiting beliefs?
Yeah. It's it's powerful stuff. I think it's like it's an important thing to do, but it's also like exercise with caution because like we're saying, like the first time we did this was right before a pandemic. The second time we did it was a defining moment in our relationship with Mare, and we've continued to do it since then, but it definitely it mucks things up. It's like dragging the lake for fears, and it's like a lot of sediment starts to like just get into the water and
Well, I think that's
cloud
also
things up
like
at first.
you're just playing a little fast and loose if you combine acid with it. I think is a little bit of the deal too.
Yeah, yeah.
But I think everything has been perfect, and I don't know. I actually attribute burning our fears to how good life feels most of the time, and I do think this life is getting weirder and weirder, and it's requiring us to be like more bold, more courageous, less fearful, more in tune with who we are,
Hmm.
more unapologetically whoever we are, whatever we're here to do, And I think that fears are just not a helpful emotion. I think that and I think you can also set it up in a way of like, hey, remove the fears that keep me in harmony, keep me out of harmony. And then, but like, the fears that are alerting me to something that I need to pay attention to, like, allow me to let go of the fear, but make the change necessary. Like,
Mm.
kind of use the fear as like a wisdom compass rather
Hmm.
than like a debilitating thing.
Yeah, not necessarily like think of all of them as negative.
Yeah. And God grant me the
But
ability to see the difference or
the
whatever.
ones you're writing down and are knowing you're gonna burn them, like they're the ones your body's ready to get rid of.
Well,
It's time.
yeah, and also like
Whatever comes out while you're doing that is worth getting rid of, probably.
and even if it's something that's like, I don't know like I'm trying to think of like what a real fear is or what a fear is you shouldn't let go of. I'm not even saying that I think anything, even to address your fear, you have to let it go because
Mm.
it has like the power over you. It's like you can't make wise decisions or make mature movements if you are like overwhelmed with like your body being in a fear response, fight or flight or anything like
Yeah.
that. So,
Yeah. You know what always comes up for me, and I always end up writing on these lists is like it must be a core fear, is like getting pulled into like normalcy too much, I guess, or what I would interpret as like normalcy. I don't know. The way I express it when I write it is like I don't want to become a drone. I don't want to just become a mindless person that's just like doing tasks and caught up in bullshit. So it's a hard thing to express, but I feel what I'm trying to let go of every year when we do this.
that's interesting. I can't remember any of my fears, and I think that's partly because in a lot of ways I've really let them go. Not that I'm fearless
Yeah.
right now,
Yeah.
but like I don't have like a reoccurring fear.
Mine's always like one, two, or three things. I mean, everyone else we're with is like writing
Oh yeah,
goddamn
I'm writing.
pages of stuff.
Yeah, totally.
And I'm like,
I
I
got
don't,
plenty to let go of.
am I
If
not that creative? Am I not in touch with it enough? And maybe I wasn't in touch with it enough. And maybe this little dance I'm doing with sobriety is helping me become more in touch with certain emotions that, like you said, are going to flood to the surface. They're going to flood out my dreams. They're going to, it's going to come in from all angles for a
sweep
minute.
your house of its furniture.
Yes, yeah, and that's fine. That's fine. I know what I was doing and that I have this coming, and maybe this is the tip of the iceberg. And if it is, ooh Lord. I mean, I've had some terrifying dreams that stick with me, but this one really, really takes the cake, you know. And yeah, somebody in the Discord was saying, or was it you,
I don't
that
know.
the Japanese are like they've come up with a device that can record our dreams so we can watch them back.
Oh yeah, yeah, I posted that.
What? Is it real?
I mean, it's just a matter of time that they can kind of like see what image out.
What are we doing?
I don't want people to know my. I don't want to know my dreams. I don't want anyone else to know my
Well,
dreams.
before you know it, there'll be ads popping up in there. You know,
Well, it's Inception.
like how do you do an ad blocker on your dream?
Well, it's. I mean, yeah, the ads on the playback
Yeah, totally.
that they're like, look, we also not only have obvious ads, but they're embedded ads.
Oh yeah.
So you're just gonna see yourself drinking Coca-Cola in your dream because we just AI'd this into
Yeah.
everybody's dream. Subliminal messaging.
This is it. It's powerful stuff they're messing with. You know, if I could communicate something to these Japanese, so I'm proud of you. That's a beautiful thing, but
Just slow it down.
slow it down. Stand by, but stand down for now, please. Like this, it might be too much too soon.
Oh man, I don't know if it's the edible or what. Like, because you know how edibles can hit you so much harder if you're not smoking weed or doing them often.
Oh yeah.
I just, every time I do edibles, I'm like, I don't even really understand what singularity means, but I just get this overwhelming feeling that like we're going towards it, and I'm just getting like crushed by the prospect of everything that is coming along with AI. And I'm just like, it's happening. We're going towards it. Like there's no stopping
Well, what do
it.
you think of as a singularity? Because isn't that just death? Isn't that just like the inevitable outcome? It's like we get here, and we do this little dance as individuals, and then we get pulled back into a singularity.
Yeah, I don't know why it doesn't feel exactly like death to me. It just feels like um very like unanchoring, you know, kind of like oh, like everything with technology is happening exponentially. So like the experiences of life are going to become exponentially weirder
For sure.
and I get really overwhelmed by it.
Hmm.
I don't know, it's just that I don't understand it, and I think that's a lot of where I should probably put more energy into trying to understand what's going on. But like the more you try to understand it, you're just like the deeper the well goes.
Mm.
And I don't know exactly what I'm nervous about. I just maybe it's the unknown, but also it's just like the pace at which things are shifting.
I think that's what disturbs me, too. It feels like everything's happening so fast.
Yeah, you can't even like stand on solid ground. Do you know what I mean? Or you don't
Yeah.
even trust. I think collectively what the pandemic did is like it took the ground from under all of us as far as what's possible and what could
Mm.
happen and what this reality is and how it could shift like overnight.
Yeah.
Like yeah, maybe I was talking about this in our last episode, but yeah, the feeling just it keeps getting stronger.
It feels like we're riding the crest of like a tidal wave that is
Yeah.
gonna crash down and like potentially fuck us up. Maybe for good this time. I'm talking about humans.
Right. Yeah. No. And my thing is like I think we've been preparing. Like we're trying to be adaptable. We're trying to
Hmm.
hang on loosely. You know, we trying to have a good time. Trying to like see the humor in it all. You know, but at the
Yeah,
same time, you're just like, what the fuck is this world gonna
I
look like in
know.
3 years, 5 years? And I've never
Yeah.
really been that intimidated by the future before. Like it feels like it's like knocking on the door. Like
Oh yeah.
hey, you don't see how crazy this is but if you paid attention for a second, you would see that like the world's about to turn upside down.
Oh yeah. I mean, like, think about we were watching Colin Quinn, probably my favorite stand-up comedian the other night.
Yeah,
He
Red
was
State, Blue State.
yeah,
That was really good.
he was talking about in there like from the horse's perspective what it must have been like when cars came along.
Yeah.
Cuz like horses we relied on them so much. We grew up with them. They were a man's best friend. We relied on them for travel, for all these things, for companionship. We took care of these majestic beasts. And then a car comes along and horses just get put out to pasture.
Yeah.
We're getting put out to pasture right now by AI.
Yep.
And it's happening slowly but surely, but I think it already
Or
happened.
quickly. Like, it feels like it, like, I don't even think you can say slowly but surely
No,
anymore.
that's true. Surely.
Surely.
You can say surely. Weird word.
What was the other weird word that... Oh, no, never mind.
Yeah, so isn't that it, like that's, we're the horses as cars are getting invented. And it's a very strange thing because it's like I feel like a lot of our purpose was in setting up this whole thing and like getting us to the point, and then we got to this point where we birthed this technology that's going to take away a lot of our purpose, which drove us to get to this point technologically. And it's like, did we really have any say in this?
Mm.
Or like Malcolm McLuhan says, like, are we just the sex organs for the technological world? Like, we're here to just like fucking use our hands and like to birth these things to like give it a chance, and then it's just going to take over, which it already is.
Well, I'm so glad. This is what all my fears are going to be about tomorrow. Burning my fears are going to be about, I think, is because I don't fucking like Elon Musk. I'm not quoting him to try to like be like, yeah, Elon Musk, but
You're a big Musk head, right?
I'm definitely not. But I did see something where he's like, we should be a lot more scared of AI than we are of bombs, and or like I'm not saying I obviously scared of bombs and don't bomb
okay.
people and let's not kill each other. But then it just like opened the door up into like how scary AI can be, as far as like scanning our entire life, every communication, every thought we've ever had, every communication we've ever had, every interaction. Like if we set AI to be the rulers, to be the cops, like we could, how nowadays you can't even access like a human when you call, like there's no customer service anymore. You can't. And we're trying to get in a place, and you're like trying to plead our case or talk with any sort of human emotion, because that's how you've like gone through life, is like, let me appeal to your human side, and like that's
Doesn't
getting
matter.
stripped out of everything.
Yeah, you're like, I'll write a letter to the auditor. I'm like, the auditor is an algorithm. There is no appealing to it and saying, no, listen to our story, give us this apartment. Like, it's cold and indifferent.
Yeah, so you could just literally get put, just like, all right, we're picking you up. You broke these rules or didn't see this, or just like mistakes happen,
It's already happening. How many times have our YouTube channel been demonetized? So what the heck could we be doing on YouTube that we would be demonetized?
But that's like small stuff. Like, imagine it's big stuff. It's your life. It's your freedom. It's your, whether or not you live the rest of your days in a cage, you know what I mean?
An AI or an algorithm saying that the world can't see our work just completely made me, just like everything I've done up to this point, completely useless, wouldn't you say?
Mm-hmm.
So that definitely spooks me. I'm not trying to get spooked about AI. I'm actually doing the opposite. I'm like immersing myself in it. I'm working with it a lot.
Yeah, no, that's why I'm just excavating my fears. I'm not trying to get other people scared. I'm sorry.
No, it's worth it. It's like we like good cop, bad cop a little bit. Like, trust me, if you were like not scared of it, I could tell you reasons you should be. And since I'm not being scared, you can tell me reasons. But I'm also telling you like ways we can use this, and that maybe we're in a tiny little small window where in collaboration with this we can do some stuff the likes of which we'd never be able to even fathom before. And that's what I want to get into.
It just also feels like there's like no stopping it.
No.
So
unless the power goes out. Unless we catch a solar flare or something like that and the internet goes down or something. So, yeah. Should we ask AI a question?
Yeah. How scary is AI going to be? I like, what you've been doing lately with AI, which I think is hilarious, is you've been writing songs. Or not you, like, to say you've been writing songs sounds ridiculous.
No, I come up with the prompt for it, but it writes it. And, I mean, the lyrics are beautiful. Let me see, let me ask you, why do humans dream? Let's see what it says. I'm using an AI these days called, for that kind of stuff, called Perplexity. It's pretty good. Let's see. Because it not only it'll give you an answer, but it'll cite sources. So you can like click on academic papers.
You should say, why did I have a dream that my girlfriend is cheating on me?
Well, I think that the answer might be contained in this. Man, this is taking time. This is I might have stumped this thing a little bit because nothing ever I've asked it so far has taken this much time.
Oh, man.
This is great podcasting right here.
Oh, yeah. Should have pre-fed it.
Well, I didn't know what I would want to ask it, and so, you know. But you know what? This actually, I have a tab open. Have you ever heard of dead internet theory?
Mm.
Yeah, this actually lends itself to that, actually.
Tell me about it.
Well, here's what it says. The dead internet theory is an online conspiracy theory that asserts that the internet now consists mainly of bot activity and automatically generated content that is manipulated by algorithmic curation, marginalizing organic human activity. So this first started popping up as a concept in like 2016, 2017.
Mm.
And I think it was a little ahead of its time, and I think that's why it got labeled like a conspiracy theory. But now I think it's just like being proven true, and I think it'll be so scary so quick how true it will be. You know,
I mean...
like Noah has multiple YouTube channels that are just AI generated content, and he's able to churn out so much that of course that's going to, anyone with his mindset, which is a lot of people, of course they're going to start doing this, and of course it's going to quickly dwarf anything we've been able to do, you know, as individuals. Like, this hive mind thing is going to be able to...
People aren't even going to believe we're real. I mean, thing, that's what I'm saying, it all breaks down. Like, am I real? What is real? You know, you just...
Yeah.
I already am AI generated, I'm sure.
I'm starting it over. I don't know. Okay, here we go. Dreaming serves various purposes, and the exact reason why humans dream is still a topic of debate among experts. Some theories suggest that dreaming helps in the consolidation of memories, processing emotions, and strengthening cognitive function. Interesting. Additionally, there are theories proposing that dreams protect the brain's visual cortex from being taken over by other senses during sleep, and that they are influenced by the consolidation of memories. While the precise function of dreaming is not fully understood, it is believed to play a significant role in memory, emotion processing, and cognitive maintenance. Cognitive maintenance. Okay. I can see that.
Okay.
All right.
Well, when you don't sleep, I mean, you're a freaking mess. Talk about maintenance.
Yeah, and then it suggests, like, okay, it's like, do you want to know how dreams affect our mood and behavior? Yeah, sure. Let's see. Dreams can significantly impact our mood and behavior. Research suggests that dreams can influence our behavior and mood the following day, serving as a guide to our emotions and affecting day-to-day actions without our knowledge. Wow. I mean, it's so obvious, but it's so true, but it's making me think, like, just a blink of an eye ago, before we had all this stimulation and distractions, how big of a part of people's lives dreams must have been.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and I think some people have healthier dreams, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Not, like,
I do too, most of the time.
Yeah, not even that. I'm not even judging your
But
dreams.
look, I've been wilding out this past week, going through withdrawals, trying to reintegrate into society without my chemical prophylactics. So, of course, you know, I'm going to have a dream that kind of like meets me on that level of intensity and shows me some stuff that all those chemicals were tamping down. For example, on mornings after nightmares, individuals have reported higher anxiety, sadness, and even physical pain, indicating a direct link between dream content and subsequent morning mood. Additionally, many researchers propose that dreams serve to alleviate emotional distress by presenting scenarios that help individuals heal from real-life events. Furthermore, dreams have been associated with the consolidation of memory and the processing of emotions, which can also affect mood and behavior. Yeah.
Well, I have a little bit of a theory.
Lay it on me.
Like, you've just been anxious lately.
Yeah.
Like, you're not usually the anxious one, or you don't.
Well, you've only known me as pothead.
Yeah, I guess so. But I feel like, remember I was like, Rager's gonna rage the other day? We were talking about, because it's like, we have these pathways that we go down of how we interface with people. And you think that you have some legitimate reason to be anxious or some legitimate reason to be rageful. But the truth is, you're just gonna, if you're a rager, you're gonna rage and you're gonna find something to rage about. If you're anxious, you're gonna find something to be anxious about. Because we see it, it's easier to see in not yourself and maybe your immediate partner, but in other people, you're like, oh, that's your pathway, that's your pattern.
Yeah.
You
So
think
address the pattern instead of playing whack-a-mole with the symptoms of the pattern.
yeah, rather than being like, well, no, this is really worth raging about, or this is really worth being anxious about. No, that like, because that's what your ego wants to do. It wants to search for something to be anxious about.
Yeah.
And because it wants to like express and feel that feeling, it seems. So maybe you're just like, even in your dream world, you're calling for like, okay, where can I be anxious and why, and what's there to be anxious about?
Yeah. I need to give up anxiety. No, honestly, I think that's one way of doing it. And I think speaking it out loud really helps. Like yesterday, we were working with AI to deal with shame.
Oh my God, I loved that.
We had our friend Laura over, and we kind of just like through talking realized how much we all struggle with shame, and like how deep-seated guilt is. And it's all for different reasons with each one of us. But that was, it was explaining shame's function. And what people are thinking is like it was initially like a thing that was helping protect us by being disgusted by something that your body didn't want. And then that translated and just like over evolution, it just like really got in our DNA. And certain religions, like what me and Laura came up in, the Catholic Church, like really pound that into you. And I think certain backgrounds, like I'm Irish, and it just seems to be part of the Irish experience. Like 75% of my DNA is from Ireland. And what do those people do? They're great. They're really funny. They're really smart. They write great poetry and good comedy and great music. But a lot of it is in the world of tragedy and shame and blame and guilt and doom and gloom. And that's in my DNA. So it's really hard to separate from shame. But it's kind of like one of the things that AI was telling us is that by even expressing it, it alleviates it. By bringing it into the light. Bringing it into the light destroys it. It hates the light. It's like a gremlin, That light comes in, it's just like it gets neutralized.
Well, that's what's good about, and that's what I was saying, what's good about community is being able to share your shame and because also if you're hiding it, you can't really do anything about it.
Yeah.
And if it's in the light, you could be like, okay, let me take action towards, okay, I feel shame about, I don't know.
Well, that's what I was saying. Like community is healing through accountability.
Yeah,
accountability.
Exactly.
And I was saying to Laura, I'm like, I hate that I kind of put myself in a position where I said on the podcast that I quit all these things because now people are holding me accountable and I'm influencing other people to quit their things potentially. And it's just like, what if I fuck up? But I know who I am. And I'm like, I'm not going to fuck up because I don't want to feel the shame that comes with letting down a community of people who you said you were going to behave a certain way and now you're not,
I think ultimately you're doing what you need to do for you, but that's just, you use that as like tools for remembering. And I don't know, it's how do you channel these emotions that are natural into like a healthy way that actually leads to positive, more harmonious change,
Well, my meditations have become more important, and deep breathing and moving my body. Like it sounds simple; those are very simple things, but those are tools that aren't, chemically altering. I mean, they are chemically altering me, but it's on the natch. So that's how I tap into my body's natural reserve of THC.
Well, I've liked that what we're doing lately is like we're going to a Pilates class or something, and we were like, we didn't take kratom, which we usually would, because it gives you that real pep in your step when you need it.
You take kratom and go into a Pilates class, and you make everyone in there look like a fucking novice, even if they've been doing it forever, because you just have energy. You don't care. You're not in touch with the pain.
I got this.
It gives you a layer removed from bodily pain.
Yeah.
So it makes you feel energized.
But we kind of took fake kratom.
Yeah, that was good.
Like literally like air. I'm not fake kratom, but like air. We're like, okay, let's take our kratom.
In the class, I leaned over and I whispered to you, and I'm like, let's just pretend we took kratom, and then we're fucking flying right now. And you were like, yeah. I was surprised you were into that. You're like, okay, and it worked.
Yeah, it was like a version of his self-hypnosis.
Yeah,
I was like, okay, Cass on Kratom does everything,
yeah,
and she does it quickly,
mm,
and she dances, and she's in it.
yeah. And that's what I said. I said, let's pretend we took kratom, and let's tap into that. And what that means for me is going harder on every pose than everyone in the class does, doing them longer than everyone in the class does, and doing it with like almost a smugness. You know what I mean? Like that
Yeah.
helps me. It helps me. Just
It
almost a
does.
like, wow, this teacher thinks she's kicking our
We
ass
had
right now, and I'm
something.
laughing.
We were doing like a boat pose, and I'm like,
We were laughing.
I was laughing. I was like, kind of groove into the
And
music.
everyone else was like, ah! And we're on fake kratom. So, but look, if we hadn't been such drug heads for so long, I don't even think we would know how to tap into those feelings, you know. So, what do you got going?
Sorry, I just wanted to text Will back.
Oh, shout out to Will Hammer.
Yes, listen to his music, Billy Hammer.
Look
Hammer's
up Billy Hammer on Spotify. He makes absolutely beautiful music. He's a member of our community, which you can join on patreon.com/churchofchill. But Will's been there from day one, and just a dear friend and brother to me, even though he's probably half my age. But
You like him young. No, that's a joke. God damn, I can't even joke around. I really can't. It is a joke. I'm so sorry. No, and
I do. I like them. I like them young when they're reliable. If they start showing that they're young in terms of like flakiness,
yeah.
forget about it.
Mm-hmm.
Forget about it. If some 20-something is
You like the lust for life of like of our 20-year-old artist friends because they haven't gotten beat down. They're very optimistic. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? They got that spirit about them.
Yeah.
Anything's possible.
a lot of the artists that I started out with when I was in my 20s aren't doing it anymore.
Yeah.
You know, so like inevitably our friend group is just going to get much younger than me as we go on because that's like the people that are like still have this sparkle and they're trying to do it.
And look, it goes all directions. Like
Yeah.
one of our besties is DJ Preschool Larry, who we had on the podcast. So
Yeah.
like, I mean,
73 years old.
He's got one of the youngest at heart people we know. So
Yeah.
it's really just a heart thing.
Oh, totally.
And usually that youngness is preserved for people who have less cares in the world unless you brute force yourself into being like, all right, I'm going to live life differently.
Well, that I mean, I think it's a combination of both.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think I've designed a life to have less cares, but I've also brute forced myself into being an artist when maybe it hasn't been the number one instinct all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
But I'm shout out to Billy Hammer. He makes such beautiful music. He has songs out there with millions of streams on Spotify. Like, how is this possible?
He's killing it.
Yeah. So we're going to hang out with him later, sweat our asses off, and take a cold plunge.
My mom also just texted me a video of like her town of a town in Maine like totally flooded.
Mm.
The rain's really bad right now.
Yeah. Yeah, it's bad. I can't focus on that stuff.
I mean, it's happening whether or not you focus on it. It's just
We're all getting flooded. That's one thing.
the great flood is happening.
Yeah. Yeah, we got to get on Noah's Ark of positivity. Good. Man, we watched a movie. Oh, my Lord. Do you remember Bitcon?
Oh, yeah.
Jesus Christ.
That one definitely did a number on me.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I feel like that was, to me, seeing that movie was the final nail in the coffin and just like, yeah, all that stuff's a scam. It's all a pyramid scheme. It's a scam, you know. If you're doing well at that stuff, it's because a whole bunch of people aren't.
I've known this from the very beginning. I've known all about it, and I still that's my karma. Like the money I lose in crypto is like I knew going into it that it was just like
fugazi. But I feel like your FOMO outweighed your natural instinct that this is all fugazi.
Well, also it's like I have a partner who like you're also not that I'm blaming it on you, but you influenced me of like yeah, like let's do it. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah, whatever.
We're both of our just kind of like
It's easy for me to say because I don't know how to do it. I don't know how much money we have. I don't know how big of a risk it is. It's just like, oh, there's a thing. Our friends are saying it's real. It's legit. And they're making all kinds of money. I mean, like, we had people telling us, like, yo, I have hundreds of thousands of dollars in Bitcoins or whatever.
No, some
and
people
shitcoins
obviously
and-
do really well and did really well and could do
Yeah.
well again in the future. I'm not even trying to, but just watching these guys what they did, and I just like, you just get mad because you're like, I knew better, because we had friends who were conning people with.
Yeah, we had multiple friends, multiple people that didn't even know each other, making shit coins and conning people.
Yeah, and they're like going to South Korea and
Yeah.
like doing this whole thing, and they're like, look, we're riding the wave, and then they would
Fake
just
CEOs,
and
like
then
all the
throw these
bullshit.
parties and have
Yeah.
like $25,000 a month rent, and like,
Yeah.
and these like Manhattan lofts, and I mean, we partied.
It's all to keep up appearances, and for them, it was all to get sex partners that they wouldn't have had access to otherwise, because they're short and just extremely vapid people.
I don't know. It just makes me feel like when we went in on it, or however going in on it, it's just like, damn, someone's always losing at the shit end of this. Someone's always getting the shit end of your stick.
Yeah. Well, this movie's on Netflix. It's not particularly well made, like most of the stuff on Netflix. It's formulaic or whatever, but yeah, it's about these two scammers who are just like career criminals, like since high school, were scamming people. And
just faking white papers, faking their website, faking everything down the
well,
line.
they started off in the opioid boom. They were making tons of money at that. Then that dried up, and then they were like, okay, we'll get into the luxury car game, and that dried up because that was all a scam or whatever. And then they got into crypto when that was first popping off in like 2017, I think.
And the one guy just skated and just snitched on everybody. It was just he's a real scumbag.
Well, that's kind of the disturbing part of this movie is like you watch, it's like these 2 or 3 guys that they just like, they faked everything. They literally just went online and said, we went to Harvard Business School. They didn't even go to college. And they're like, we went to Harvard Business School. We have all this expertise. Here's the companies we helped succeed in the past.
Talk about
all
dead
of it was
internet
fake.
theory.
Yeah.
Human bots. That's what we are now.
Yeah.
It's human bots. Humans just pretending to be
Yeah.
what they're not. And
Yes,
you don't
exactly.
Even know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so these guys, like, to the point where they had a fake CEO. Their CEO came from, they just Googled old white guy, took some guy's picture, made up a fake name for him, and made him the CEO just to lend themselves legitimacy.
Oh, and then made him a LinkedIn that said he was like
Harvard Business and
Wells Fargo
like,
VP.
Yeah, just like all this, just obviously transparently bullshit, but a lot of people got in on it, and their product.
Not obviously, because who would know that they're lying? It's like that's what you do when you find out about something. You look at who the guys are.
Well, I mean, their product was basically a debit card that you could was linked to your crypto accounts, so you could use your crypto money in the real world, and which is like just one of these like turning point moments in crypto. Like, oh, there it is, the real world application of this stuff. I knew it was coming. Here it is. So a lot of people that already had poured their faith into crypto, this one, like, it was just low hanging fruit for these scammers to be like, oh, we're going to show you a way that you can spend that you can go buy your groceries with that with just the swipe of a card and transfer money and doing all this stuff. And the technology didn't exist. I don't think it still exists.
Even if it does, they weren't the people to do it because they just stole other people's work.
Yeah, so then they do like the initial offering, and it just, slowly but surely goes up, 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 and next thing you know, they're like way in over their heads. Like they've raised like tens of millions of dollars, and people start breathing down their neck and like being like, hey, show me the legitimacy of this. And they're like, oh, damn. And they, this is kind of the funniest part to me. They were like, shit, we need lawyers. We need real lawyers. So they just like Google like a high power Manhattan lawyer, and they find this company, and they retain this law service that turned out to be fake.
It's like a 17-year-old boy or something.
It was a 17-year-old boy in like a college. It was a freshman in college. He was just in a dorm room, and he made a fake law firm. And these people were just sending the money, and he would just give them fucking fake legal advice that he just Googled, and like they were retaining this guy, and he was fake. Everything about it was fake, to the point where it's just like, whoa, this house of cards is going to come tumbling down any minute. And right when it's about to come tumbling down, some company in South Korea is like, we're interested in this. Come over here, show us that the technology works, and we'll pump 15 million into your company. So they go over there. They obviously can't show that this works because it doesn't. But the South Koreans are like, this is a scam, isn't it? And the guy's like, yeah. And they're like, we want in. Gave him twice the amount of money to get in on this scam as opposed to the real thing. And yeah, it eventually all came crashing down. And people were like, "Where's my money?" A lot of people lost a lot of money. And yeah, the dude that started the whole thing just kind of snitched on his friends. Didn't serve a day in jail.
It still has money.
Still has money. Has he scammed a bunch of people out of their money? And with crypto, you can hide it all over the place. And the government is not caught up to this, and prosecutors aren't caught up to this. So yeah, this dude is out there living his life. We should interview that guy. He's a fucking real scumbag, and would take all this money and gamble with it. Like he would go and have
Not just money from like randoms, like money from his family.
Oh yeah, no, he scammed his whole family. And when they got exposed about the CEO, people started saying like, "Who is this guy? We cannot get a hold or find anything about this CEO." They just pretended the guy died in a car accident, and then made the guy's grandfather the CEO. And the grandfather was in the hospital with dementia.
They're like, it's time to kill the CEO.
Yeah,
So they just put out a death announcement.
Yeah. I don't know. Spoiler alerts, because
We should have said
you don't
spoiler.
have you don't have to watch this. Like it's just it's what you think it is. It's just ridiculous, over the top, coked out, Adderall.
But
like,
the thing is,
know-it-all
because
bullshit.
because they faked everything down the line, they
Yeah.
have legitimate sources being like, Centra, they're really cool. Like, I'd get in on this. So it's even you can go, a trusted person can tell you something that's a scam.
None of them are trusted.
That, yeah.
If people are telling you that crypto is going to save your life or whatever, they might not know it, but some of them do. They're full of shit. They're full of shit.
Well, it's like at the house.
It's just a different casino.
Yeah.
And I think when you start looking at it in those terms, you can kind of deprogram all the FOMO and all this and that. Thinking you're going to be one of these people that gets rich off crypto is thinking that somehow you're at the top of a pyramid. And I'm sorry to say, anyone hearing this, you're not. It's just there's much better ways and much more rewarding ways to get rich in this life. And it's through work. It's through hard work and effort and producing a product.
I mean, I think the crypto world is so, like, navigating crypto is work. That is work. There's no doubt about it to me that being informed and learning about crypto is work, and like, but I don't know, the amount of work that you'd have to do to be truly at the crest of the wave.
Yeah.
And not get scammed is, I don't know.
It
seems
just
out of sight.
It preys on that weird little nagging feeling that there's an American dream and that there's class mobility and that you want to get in on it, and it preys on people that want a shortcut for that. And
Well, it preyed on us, like, whatever, like, you know what I mean?
I never thought that was going anywhere. It was just kind of like,
let's not be idiots and not do anything.
we had fake money coming in from the government. Like, I don't know, we might as well put our fake money into a fake thing. And if it had gone up at all, ever, which it didn't, I would have said, get out of there. Get our money out of there.
Yeah.
You know? But
that's really hard too, though. That's what I also learned about myself, because one of the things we went in on, it like tripled the next day, and it was like, well, let's see where this goes. It's real. Like, the thing is, it's so hard when you're up to take your money out.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Because you're like, well, what if it goes up more?
Yeah. Yeah, and that's when you're in the greed cycle.
And it's really, yeah, I mean,
And it hijacks your system.
I have some money right now in PayPal crypto or whatever, and I just keep thinking, like, I could take it out now and take like a little loss, or I could wait and then maybe take a little bit of a win, and then I'm like, well, when it's a little bit of a win, why don't I just wait till it's a bigger win? And whatever.
Yeah. I think movies like this are gonna expose this on, like, if anyone sees this movie, I think it's just like, it does a nice job of just exposing like what's going on behind the scenes in a lot of this. And like, we witnessed it. You know, we had these friends that came up with a shit coin. None of it was real. They moved over to South Korea. They raised $12 million scamming South Koreans.
It was for like a dating website.
For a blockchain dating website. And it's just like, it's just, and the crazy thing is, the people in this movie speak with the same cadence as the people we know that are like real life crypto scammers. Like, they all have this, like, there's a certain cadence and a way of speaking, and I think it's like, I don't know who started it or what it is, but it's like a hypnotic way of saying things and getting information across and sweeping under the rug that you don't know anything, and, you know, just like a good, and we're just moving on, and just like, we know people that are like this and that are behaving like this, and it's a scam.
Yeah, we just...
And then at the end of the movie, they say, like, the one study that's been done about this showed that like 78% of this stuff are scams. They're not even real.
Yeah, that's where I just got frustrated. I was like, I knew better. I knew better. But you know what?
That's your guilt and shame. Who cares? We lost the money.
Know what's funny is also, did we talk about this movie? What is it called? The one with Paul Dano.
Yeah, what's that called? I can't remember. You want me to look it up?
I don't have to.
Um,
That was good though. I enjoyed that.
what was it?
It was about GameStop.
The movie's called Dumb Money.
Oh yeah, Dumb Money.
Yeah. Same thing. It just kind of exposes what it all is. And you're like, oh, I don't want to have anything to do with that. I don't want to align my energy and my finances with that.
Well, whatever you do, don't take fucking money advice from us. We don't know what the fuck's going on.
No. But we are on the verge of getting an apartment. Or a new studio or whatever you want to call it.
I'm trying.
Yeah. Yeah. But that movie was just hilarious in the sense of like...
I love stories where the like little guy, and that's what crypto felt. It felt like the little guy being able to win.
Yeah.
You know, because a lot of little
That's why
guys.
it's the perfect scam.
That's why a lot of little guys got in before like bigger guys got in, and a lot of little guys did make a lot of money from being.
Who?
Just whatever they did.
Yeah, okay.
A lot of little guys did make money, and.
But it's kind of like being like, I was up $2 million. I was up. And I'm like, did you get that money out of did you turn those chips in and turn it into money and leave the casino with it? Like, no. I mean, I went on a bad run and I lost it all. It's like,
but
the bad run wasn't bad luck. It was designed to get that money back from you.
Yeah, exactly. But what I'm trying to say is that the way our economy and business and money is set up is never going to let the little guy win.
No way.
And that's what that Dumb Money movie really showed, because it's the true life story of the GameStop, where the little guy bets against Wall Street, and Wall Street just has the power and like
to shut down the market.
To shut down the market. So
the
it's like
second that they had a chance to get a bunch of the little guys rich, they just took away their ability to trade and get their money, and because there was very few powerful people that stood to lose a lot of money. One of them was the owner of the New York Mets, our favorite baseball squadron.
fuck him.
Fuck him, Steve Cohen. But yeah, they shut down the markets and they wouldn't let people get their money or do any trades.
It just was so infuriating, because it's just a very, there's a lot of things that I don't want to be like, life's not fair all the time, but you just see it and you're just watching, you're like, God, it's not fair.
No, our economy's rigged. So I don't know how much of your time and attention do you want to put into trying to game a rigged economy that's like, it's been rigged for fucking decades. Like, it ain't happening. That's not the place. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck we're talking about. This is enough. Enough's enough.
Enough's enough.
Thanks for joining us. We're going to go sweat and cold plunge with Billy Hammer. Dropping hammers.
Dropping hammers.
Join our beautiful community, the Church of Chill. That's the antidote to all this stuff. Chilling. Falling back. Getting back into the present moment.
Yeah.
And that's on patreon.com/churchofchill, where you can access, I think we got 100 or so bonus podcasts on there. They're a little too spicy for YouTube. And we name names and we get personal and it gets real. So get on patreon.com/churchofchill, join the Discord community, check out our bonus episodes, and get in touch with us. Let's become friends. Does that sound good?
Right on.
Cool. Peace, love, and magic, y'all.